Nano Banana 2 is here, and in this video, I'm going to be testing it directly against Nano Banana Pro inside FLORA, which is the intelligent canvas I use to work with multiple models in one place, and the flagship tool of my one-person studio. And after running these side by side with the exact same prompts, I think the honest conclusion is this. Nano Banana 2 is better, but not by some ridiculous world-changing margin. This doesn't feel like one of those updates where suddenly everything before it becomes irrelevant. It feels more like a meaningful step forward, a better default, a more practical model for a lot of image work. And if you care about realism, lighting, textures, depth, and building campaign visuals quickly, that really matters. So in this video, I want to do two things. First, break down what actually seems to be new inside Nano Banana 2 and how I'd compare it to Nano Banana Pro. And secondly, show you how I'd use it in a real workflow, specifically to build a skincare ad campaign from 3 image references, and then turn those stills into video clips using something like VO3 or Kling 3.0. So first, what's actually new? The practical takeaway is pretty simple. Nano Banana 2 seems designed to give you strong quality with faster turnaround, while Pro remains the heavier duty option for more complex or demanding image tasks. That distinction matters, because when you're actually making creative work, especially at volume, speed changes the experience. You can test more ideas, you can iterate more quickly, you can push more variations. And if the output quality is close enough, or in some cases even better looking for your use case, then that becomes a very big deal. There are also some workflow benefits here. Third-party model docs and comparisons point to Nano Banana 2 being better suited for fast generation, stronger subject consistency, coherent composition, and higher volume production workflows. Now let's talk about the actual results. Because specs are one thing, outputs are the thing. And again, I'm going to be doing this comparison inside FLORA, which is useful because it lets me test these models in a real creative workflow rather than in isolation. When I compare Nano Banana Pro and Nano Banana 2 side by side using the same prompts, what I'm really looking for is not just which image looks prettier. I'm looking at realism, lighting, textures, material detail. I'm looking at how convincing the perspective feels. And I'm looking at whether the image feels like an actual photograph or like a decent AI image. And in a lot of the comparisons I've run, Nano Banana 2 feels stronger. The lighting often feels a little more natural. The image tends to have a little bit more depth. Skin, fabric, foliage, reflective surfaces, and packaging often have better texture. And overall, some scenes just feel more believable, as though the model is making slightly better visual decisions. Now, does it win every single time? No. And I think this is where people get lazy in reviews. They want one dramatic conclusion, one winner, one loser. That's not really how this works. Nano Banana Pro still has its place. If I'm asking for something more compositionally difficult, more layered, or more reasoning heavy, I can still imagine Pro being the one I'd want in the mix. That seems to be the lane it still owns. Deeper reasoning, harder scenes, more demanding visual problems. That aligns with how Google and third-party comparisons are currently framing the split between these two models. So the honest framing, in my opinion, is this. Nano Banana 2 is probably the better default. Nano Banana Pro is still the specialist. That's the comparison I'd make. Now, where Nano Banana 2 gets really interesting is when you stop treating it like a one-off image tool and start using it as part of a campaign workflow. So let's take a skincare campaign as an example. So I've got 3 references. One is the model, one is the product, and one is the environment or scene I want to build around them. That could be a botanical landscape, a luxury interior, a clean studio, whatever fits your brand. Then I use Nano Banana 2 to merge those ingredients into a set of campaign stills. And this is where the model becomes genuinely useful, because I'm no longer asking it to invent everything from nothing. I'm giving it structure, I'm giving it references, I'm giving it art direction. And that's usually when these models become much more powerful. Then comes the second part of the workflow. Once I've got those stills looking right, I can take the strongest frames into a video model like VO3 or Kling 3.0 and animate them into short ad clips. The clips aren't always perfect and may need reprompting or editing, but with enough generations, you'll have high quality clips you can combine. That is a much smarter way to work than trying to brute force an entire campaign from scratch. Because the stills let you lock the visual language first. You establish the model, the product, the lighting, the mood, the environment, and the realism. And then the video model is not inventing the campaign from zero. It's extending something that already works. That, to me, is the real opportunity here. Not just making better images, but building better pipelines. So my overall takeaway is this. Nano Banana 2 is not some insane everything changes today update, but it is a solid improvement. Nano Banana 2 looks like a very strong default right now at a much lower cost and faster generation than Pro, which only makes that more useful if you're producing at scale. Not because it kills Nano Banana Pro, but because for a lot of everyday creative work, it may simply be a more useful tool. And if you want to try this exact workflow for yourself, you can clone my FLORA canvas for the skincare ad campaign and get 25% off using my partner link if you want to give FLORA a try. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.